Why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down? Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
Yes. Don't get a young girl pregnant, Kevin. Don't do it. All right, so
I can't even get a date this month, so I don't think I have to worry about that so much. Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
All right, cool. So, like I said, Kevin Blatt. Now, I don't understand how I've gone this long having one of the most notorious celebrity entertainment news blogs without having you on.
It's amazing, but the important thing is that you found me, and now we're going to have this kinship.
Yes, like I said, you took the internet by storm the other day. You said you didn't know that, though.
No clue. I have no idea. So tell me why I took the internet by storm. I play a lot of golf, and I've been working on producing, and I'm producing a television show about sex tapes right now. So I've been buried in archival footage. So I don't know. So you were telling me a little bit, but you said we'll save it for the show. So tell me why I was relevant, because I really don't know.
Hold on real quick for me, Kevin. Shaq, can you turn his volume up a little bit? He's really low to me. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, say something for me, Kevin.
Yo, yo, yo.
That's better. Yeah, so we'll pick up. We'll pick up. All right, perfect. So, so I'm reading one of my favorite Instagram blogs, The Neighborhood Talk, and they posted a story about the Kim Kardashian sex tape. Now, I don't know if you know, Kim Kardashian recently made remarks about the sex tape, saying that I believe her youngest son, Saint, was playing Roblox, and there was a link or an advertisement to her infamous sex tape with Ray J, Brandy's brother. And so she said that, it kind of gave her anxiety. She didn't know how to react. And so she's devastated that she even made the decision to even release the sex tape, of course. And so first, I believe it was the Daily Mail that posted, if I'm not mistaken. It was one of the news sites that said that there were tons of deleted scenes from the 40, I believe it was like a 42-minute sex tape that was initially released through you, correct?
No, I didn't release it. I was the first person to meet with Ray J. Ray J and I met at a cheesecake factory in Woodland Hills, and I had no idea who Ray J was back then. My friend over at AVN Magazine called me up and he said, "Hey, yo, check this out. I have Ray J." And I said, "Who?" He goes, "Well, he's Brandy Norwood's brother from Moesha. He's Snoop Dogg's cousin, but more importantly, he's Kim Kardashian's ex-boyfriend, and she's threatening to release this thing for free. She wanted to release it for free because she saw what her friend Paris had done, and that was the tape that I got involved with. And I urged Ray J to beg her to not release it for free because there was so much money to be made on this thing that she had no idea. But that was my initial meeting with Ray J. But let's get back to what you were talking about. So, lest anybody believe that these Kardashians ever tell the truth about anything. Okay, I'm going to give you a scoop right now. Okay. Bottom line is, they are charlatans. They are liars. They are hustlers. They are hucksters. They are shooting their television show right now. This is a story arc for the TV show. I know for a fact that they made this up out of thin air. Okay, the destroyed footage has been destroyed, never to be found again. She knows this. They used her kid, okay, as bait for this arc, the story arc, to make it look like there are more scenes that were deleted. She knows what scenes were deleted out of this thing, trust me. And so do I. And amongst those scenes, there's scenes that I could tell you right now, if they were left in the actual tape, that family would not be as big as they are today.
Now, I've heard you say that
much
in previous interviews. Now, could you give us just a little bit of what you mean? Like a hypothetical example of...
Well, there's excerpts from the tape, obviously, where she's smoking weed out of a penis bowl, a penis-shaped pipe. But there are sex acts. I don't even know if you call it sex. Let's just say that there are some extreme sports on some of the footage, and I'll let you figure out what kind of sports. And like I said, if that would have been included in the tape, I don't think this family would be as big as they are. Let's not get it twisted. This family is big because Robert Kardashian is the patriarch of the family, who, as we know, was OJ's friend and lawyer who helped him get off of his various murder charges.
Right.
That was the Kardashians' claim to fame, was Robert Kardashian. The Kardashians owned a boutique here in the San Fernando Valley called Dash forever, and that's pretty much how they had started their fame. So the sex tape was a vehicle to promote the Dash store and Kim Kardashian and to create a brand, and that is primarily what they did. Listen, I'm not hating. This family, turned lemons into lemonade, and for that, you got to go, wow, that's something else. But we also have to look at the general public and go, how stupid are we to believe that everything they say? Now, this goes back, if you look at the pattern of lies, okay, I could tell you unequivocally, they lied about Bruce Jenner, right, when he was transgendering. You going to tell me that they were just taken by surprise one day, that Bruce wanted to become a woman?
I don't.
I mean, they lied about that.
Yeah.
They lied about every marriage that she's had. Kim was married to Reggie Bush. She was married to Damon. Was it Damon Dash?
I can't
she's
remember. No, it wasn't Damon Dash.
Chris Humphries. Humphries. She's a serial monogamist, but she's what I call a codependent. She can't be alone for 5 seconds. That Kim Kardashian. So she's with these crazy guys, and every crazy guy that's been with her thought they were going to get something out of it and raise their profile. In actuality, what happened was it lowered their value. Every single person Kim's been with now is like fruitcake a day after Christmas. Nobody wants fruitcake a day after Christmas.
Yeah. That's for her.
I'm over caffeinated.
It's okay. No. I need some for real. Like,
yeah, I'm on fire this morning.
My son is my caffeine, but. Is it true? Because I did, I did see your article in Rolling Stone, and I did, watch an interview that you did. I believe it was at your mom's house or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And,
yeah.
Ray J told you that Kim wanted to be as big as Paris Hilton, if not bigger. Was she kind of jealous of her friend?
Hell yeah. So, Kim was organizing Paris's closets. I don't know if you know that, but she was like a little helper, a little hanger-on with Paris, and she started going to the clubs with Paris. I mean, there's archival footage that I just went through of them standing in line where Paris got in and Kim didn't, and like literally Paris would have to come out and grab her and hide to this old club that was on Sunset. It's funny because people forget that. They forget that she was like an apprentice to Paris Hilton, so she wanted to be Paris, and I mean, in some instances she became Paris plus. Paris is no slouch herself. She's made her sex tape into $1 billion enterprise as well. So, look, if somebody wanted to see me have sex right now, believe me, I would be the first one to put out my own sex tape. I don't think anybody wants to see that.
And, I'm going to talk to you about that, but I want my viewers to get to know your background, because you've been, how long have you been in the sex tape broker industry?
Well, funny, you say sex tape broker industry.
Yes.
To me, it's such a misnomer, and I laugh every time somebody calls me a celebrity sex tape broker, because that's not my nomenclature. That was just given to me. One day I was reading the New York Times, and they called me a sex tape broker, and I just laughed, and I said, okay, there it is. It's going to be on my headstone now when I die, right? Celebrity sex tape broker. Over 10 million people jerked off as because of this guy, right?
Yeah.
So I was in the adult business. I got into it in 1998 when I moved to San Diego from Cleveland, Ohio. I was a nice Jewish boy. I was working in concert promotion, selling radio in Cleveland. Was really into hip hop, really into the culture, right? So my brother and I, growing up in Cleveland, we had booked a ton of like hip hop acts, and we were doing all kinds of cool stuff. We come out here, and my brother gets a job selling alarm systems. He cold calls a company that was a web hosting company, and it turned out that they hosted adult websites. I'm sitting in a cubicle selling Howard Stern radio, watching my brother go to these porn parties and And he's with these 18-year-old kids with these backward hats and backpacks that were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month selling porn online. And I didn't know a mouse from a mouse pad. Honest to God, coming from Cleveland, I was like in a suit and tie every day, a pinky ring. I had the gold. Like I was like, this is the 90s, mid 90s we moved to San Diego. So we had to learn how to tone it down a little bit. But my brother, I begged him to get me in the business. Begged him. So next thing you know, I quit my job, got in the business, sold a myriad of adult-related products, from adult sex toys to male enhancement products, i.e. penis enlargement pills, and then, snake oil. I did a bunch of stuff in the adult business, but I got on the Howard Stern show promoting this porn star who had a certain type of plastic surgery that was very unique. And that kind of put me on the map as this PR guy. And everybody in the adult industry started hiring me to be a PR guy. Along comes the Paris Hilton sex tape. My friends tell me they got it. They need somebody to go look at it and make the deal with the guy. That's what I did. The guy turned out to be Rick Solomon's roommate. Rick Solomon, or Rick the Dick as we call him, was the male part of the Paris Hilton sex tape. That came out, got sued for $20 million by the Hilton family, by Rick, by everybody came after me for $20 million. I don't know why $20 million, but I learned this much. If you don't have $20 million, you shouldn't worry about getting sued for $20 million. But it was a scary time in my life. But it put me on the map, and all of a sudden people started calling me the celebrity sex tape broker, which meant more people started calling me. Next thing you know, I have a Cameron Diaz sex tape. I have a Colin Farrell sex tape. And then I was just like, okay, I gotta turn this into something.
Now, I don't think I've ever seen the Cameron Diaz sex tape.
That's because it wasn't really a sex tape per se, and they took it off the web. It was her first modeling contract that she had gotten. This photographer had her posing topless and leading a guy around in a dog collar with a leash. It was an artistic photograph and video that was shot downtown under a bridge here, and very artistic, but she was 18 years of age. And later on, I ended up becoming an expert witness in that case and testified against the guy who had hired me to do the publicity. Turned out that he had forged her name on the model releases. He ended up going to jail for a couple of years too. He was extorting Cameron Diaz. So that's why you didn't hear about that one.
Oh, I got to go back and pull that case if they didn't seal it. Shit, I ain't know nothing about that. Listen. Now,
it's out there. It's out there.
Now, Colin Farrell, he just kind of dropped off the movie scene. I mean, he was big.
Well, he was just in the House of Gucci movie. Did you see House of Gucci?
I didn't see the House of Gucci movie. Is that one of his? Because I mean, he's ever since I saw The New World and a few other movies, he just kind of went since 2006, 2007. And
actually, I take that back. It wasn't House of Gucci. He's in the Batman movie, but you will never know it's him.
Really? I gotta go back and watch that.
You'll never know it's him.
Okay.
It's the recent Batman. It's just in the theaters right now.
Now, when you got your hands on his sex tape, I mean, I'm talking about sex symbol in Hollywood. I mean, big star. First of all, let me ask you this before you answer that question. When y'all watch these sex tapes, do y'all get aroused? The reviews says it all. It's time to unlock the secret to freshness, happiness, and overall great feminine hygiene. It's something we don't like to talk about, but around 80% of women experience feminine odor a few times a week. Here's the solution. Belle's Secret created a formula that washes away odor-causing bacteria, heals your vulva, and balances your pH. Plus, it's all natural. Check out bellsecret.org to start your journey to better feminine hygiene and use the code TASHAK20 to save on your purchase now.
I was placed in this hospital room for high blood pressure complications. I did everything my doctors told me to do, including taking the prescribed medications, which I've been on for years, but I still ended up here. When I got out, I learned about my olive leaf, an all-natural extract that got my hypertension under control. Don't continue to drug yourself into becoming healthier. Go to myoliveleaf.biz to learn more.
If you're like me and suffer from hyperpigmentation and ingrown hair due to excessive shaving and waxing on your cooch, inner thighs, and other intimate areas, I've got something for us. And Skin Souffle has created some amazing organic skincare products just for us. Even if your skin is super sensitive like mine and you always scratching, as Skin Souffle's Intimate Razor, Bump Corrector, and Super Strong Dark Spot Eraser are ideal products to help make your skin perfect all again. Order now at skinsouffle.net and use the promo code TASHAK for 10% off.
I still love him. He's still my brother. That's my mama's child.
Everybody doesn't have the how to go with the who.
You only really have one physical sense, which is touch.
Get back to where we were, we would need to segregate.
Mainly, most people that fall for this are gay.
And you all need to figure some things out.
Like, oh, I see why my mommy did what she did.
Trust me when I say this shit's gonna happen. It's gonna fly.
I believe in a hand up and not a hand out.
You could go through my DMs. There's no women shooting their shot at me in my DMs.
He went and found his mama
and him.
You know, like,
what?
You see a sex tape with like Cameron Diaz or Kim Kardashian. How is it watching? Because I heard her original sex tape was an hour and something minute, like an hour and 40 minutes or so. Like, is it hard to not get aroused when you're watching it?
There were a couple that I've seen that never made it out that I found titillating. No pun intended. Okay. You know, the Kim Kardashian one, I didn't find very sexual. I didn't find Paris's to be very stimulating. But then again, keep in mind, I'm a little desensitized. I've worked in porn, you know, over 20 years. I've seen it all. So there were a couple celebrities that I saw that were beautiful, beautiful girls. Minka Kelly, Leighton Meester. There was other ones that, you know, are these younger girls, but these were tapes of them fresh out of like high school or in college or waitressing. And you're like, wow, you're really young. So like, that's what makes it cute and kind of fun. And depending on the playfulness of it, because most of it's like young love kind of stuff. When I get a sex tape, it's usually from a family member or an ex-boyfriend that, you know, wants to sell out their ex-love. Either they broke up, they had a bad relationship, or they don't talk to each other. And all of a sudden, you know, what defines celebrity anymore, right? So you used to have to be famous for having some type of talent. Either you had to sing or dance or be a good actor. Now you could just be famous for being famous, or you're on a reality show, right? All of a sudden you're on a stupid reality show that makes you out there in front of 10 million people a week. So your ex-boyfriend goes, holy shit, I remember filming a BJ tape with her. And then, you know, they pull it out of the archives on their old VHS tapes. And then they call me up and say, hey, what do you think a sex tape of so-and-so is worth? And I have to say, how much is a coat? And they go, a coat? What does that mean? I said, well, is it a Burberry jacket? Is it a Lacoste jacket? Is it a members-only jacket? Is it a fur coat? You know, you have to tell me what's the contents, and I have to see it. Otherwise, I don't know what it's worth. And I'm like the Fred G. Sanford of sex tapes, because it's like I got this junkyard and people come to me with their junk thinking it's worth millions of dollars, but I got to tell them, no, you big dummy, it's not worth what you think it's worth. So
I mean,
that's my job.
Now, your job is to make them go away as well, too. Now, how do you do that?
Very carefully. Very carefully. You know, look, it's how you ask. There's an old adage I use in my business. Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all in how you ask. It's the verbiage with the lawyers. And, you know, if you're respectful and you do it right and you cover your ass, the pig gets fed. If you, and I've had several clients that come to me and they're like, well, how much money can we get, KB? And I'm like, look, I can't ask for any number, because if I ask for a number, that makes me an extortionist. They have to offer me something, and then I have to go back to you and see if that's agreeable. So that's kind of how it works. You know, we come up with a number sometimes that works. And keep in mind also, not every case does somebody get paid for it. We have to vet how they got it. You know, these days there's invasion of privacy laws that, you know, let's say you come to me over my house and you got a purse and you got a pinhole camera in there and you try to set me up. That's illegal. You can't do that. But if you're in a place where there's no assumption of privacy, like a hotel or a public place, and there's a camera that happens to be on you, you're in a nightclub, which I had a big rapper, I can't tell you who it is, but a humongous rapper was in Paris in a nightclub in a VIP room, and a stripper starts having sex with him back there, and the guy had the camera running the whole time. He's got his own security camera. Guess what? He owns that footage. Now, the thing he can't do is he can't put out that tape and say such and such a sex tape, because there's still what's called the rights of publicity. Rights of publicity means that the only person that can use Kevin Blatt's name for entertainment purposes is Kevin Blatt, right? So you basically file like a trademark or a copyright, but it's called ROP. So that's why years ago there was a Paris Hilton locker where the contents of her locker were all bought by somebody, like a storage wars type of thing. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't call the lamps and the pictures and all the stuff in their Paris Hilton's lamps because Paris Hilton owns the rights to the name Paris Hilton. It's a very interesting world, and a lot of the stuff I get involved with becomes what's called case law. I've been a part of many lawsuits, Hulk Hogan, Cameron Diaz, Colin Farrell, all, writing the course of law since 1998, because, back then the internet was the wild, wild west. We didn't have this kind of technology to be able to do this type of thing. We run 14.4 modems back then, dial up through a telephone line. Very different world when I got in the business.
Now, have you ever been sued personally and had to pay? And
howdy do? Well, I've been sued a myriad of times. I've never, knock on wood, had to pay a dime. I've never lost a suit. Most of my suits were settled out of court.
Okay. Wow. What's the most that you were sued for besides the 20 million? Was there anything higher than the 20 million or no?
Vern Troyer sued me for 10 million. I got sued all the way around on Paris's parents, Paris Hilton, and Rick Solomon. So combined, that was about 40 or 50 million dollars in punitive damages they came after me for. But again, the numbers are really bullshit because, you can't get blood from a stone. And also, back then, how are you able to value that a sex tape was worth that kind of money?
Right.
You couldn't. But, now looking back at it and seeing the kind of money that Paris and Kim's tapes made, they made a lot of money. Tens of millions of dollars.
Now, I just, back to you saying the Kardashians are some of the biggest liars. I do agree.
The biggest.
Yeah, and I do believe everything is for sale. I don't think there's anything that's off limits. I mean, they would, there's nothing that's not for sale with them. And to hear Kim, state how devastated she is, but yet, I'm trying to figure out, you come from, your father was a lawyer. I'm sure you have plenty of contacts. And if you really wanted that tape off the internet, it wouldn't have been on the internet for everyone to see.
Again, to put out a sex tape, to put out a celebrity sex tape, you have to have model releases and the rights to put it out there. It's a law called USC 2257. Okay. If you see a tape out there for sale this is what I do, girl. This is what I do. So, I mean, you can't put shit out there without someone's release on it. So every time she cries about it, she's crying crocodile tears, man. I just can't believe she got her lawyer, Marty, involved with this, because I saw on the episode she's calling her lawyer, Marty, and saying, you got to threaten Ray J. He might have put a dildo in my butt while I was sleeping. I read this yesterday, and I was like, this is a storyline, and she used her kid for this? This is disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the blowback? I mean, I'm outraged by it. I'm not even a parent.
Yeah. Is
outraged.
It true? Yeah. Is it because I did hear Kanye, he did an interview with Hollywood Unlocked here and said that Ray J had more footage on his computer and he had to go.
Well, he had more footage, and she knows what's on it. She knows what's on it. But that shit was destroyed years ago.
Okay.
And it's gonna be in my book what was on it. I'm going to tell the general public what the deleted scenes were, and people are gonna freak out.
No, you
They're gonna
gotta
go, no way.
gotta include my show in the press run now.
Oh well, come on. Now that we're friends.
You got to. Now, is it true? Now, I'm gonna try to frame this in a very minute way. There's a princess that everyone looked up to and looks up to, little black girls such as myself, and that there was a sex tape of her who's married to an alleged prince, of her allegedly eating ass. You saw that tape?
Did you? Talk about a deep dive.
I had to ask
that's
you.
That's a deep dive.
I had to
I
ask
sure
you.
did. I sure did. That's a real hot potato.
Princess Tiana was tossing salad.
Tiana.
Hypothetically.
That's not her name. Oh, okay, that's good.
I know.
That's not her name. Yeah, she's tossing salad. She's tossing salad like it's not with him, obviously, but it was with an ex photographer / boyfriend. But it's funny because, man, this woman called me up and she was like, "Can we speak privately?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm on the phone by myself. We need a secure app." I'm like, "Well, let me get the bat phone, let me get the bat cave." It was the first time I ever used Signal, and talking to her, and she starts telling me the story about this. And I just found it amazing that this woman had held on to this video for as long as she did. I guess she was seeing the guy who shot the video many years ago and had a thing for him, but kept this sex tape for whatever reason. She was just an actress back then. And she comes out of nowhere, and she basically...
There's no way.
It's crazy, girl. I've seen a...
I don't think
you
that
mean Tiana
could have not known that somebody was filming her eating ass. Was she good at it? Did you look at the tape? Was she good at it?
I mean, how do you rate ass eating on a scale of, she's
a princess.
I'm not opposed to ass eating. I would have to... Was she hungry? She appeared to be very hungry.
She's a princess.
I mean, homeboy had his ankles behind his head. I mean, that's some deep digging.
And it was like her face on the camera.
Allegedly. I mean, I wasn't in the room, so I can't tell you 100% that was her.
Do you think?
But I can tell you from the reaction. I can tell you from the reaction that I got from calling her lawyer that it was her.
What was that reaction like?
You just know, like, all right, so many years ago, I'm going to break a little story with you. I don't know how many people, you have a lot of subscribers, don't you? I might catch some shit for this.
Absolutely.
I'm going to catch some help. So many years ago, a girl contacted me and she had told me, "Hey, I got a sex tape of me and Ving Rhames." I'm like, Ving Rhames? Like, dude from Pulp Fiction, like Marcellus? Ving Rhames? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, get out of here. And she's like, no, it's for real. And she starts telling me what's on it and this and that. I go, what kind of proof do you have? She goes, well, I have to show it to you. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk later on and we'll see what's up. And then she sends me a screen grab that has his avatar from Baby Boy with a cowboy hat on. And I'm like, holy shit, that's him. That's his character from Baby Boy. Anyway, and there's some funny dialogue. I call his manager up to tip him off and let him know, hey, someone's trying to sell a sex tape of your client. And he goes, let me tell you something. My client is almost 70 years old, or in his 60s. He's from Harlem, New York. And let me tell you something. He's no dummy. He's not about to get himself on any kind of tape and get himself in trouble. I said, sir, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just calling to let you know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave him my number. I said, look, why don't you check with your client? Because I'm supposed to meet up with this woman later on, and you tell me what you think. So he's like, okay. So next thing I know, I'm driving on the 405 out here, which is a hellacious freeway, and I'm stuck in traffic, and I see this phone number pop up. And I answer the phone. I'm like, hello? It's like, this KB? I'm like, yes, this is Ving Rhames. I'm like, what? Ving rhames. And first I think it's my brother fucking with me. And I'm like, wait, my brother doesn't know that somebody called me up. But I'm like, holy shit, I'm talking to fucking Ving rhames right now. So I was on the phone with this guy for an hour, and he's screaming and yelling how it ain't him. And he knows people that can handle this type of situation. He doesn't need me. He's a fully grown man. He thinks he knows who this woman might be. And he starts going into this whole thing. And I'm like, an hour later, I'm still on the phone, and I walk in, and my girlfriend's on the couch. And she's like, who are you talking to? And then I show her a picture of who I'm talking to, and she hears on the speakerphone this guy yelling and screaming. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, snap, right? I'm like, I hang up the phone. I hang up the phone, and my ex was named Peaches. That was her name. So I said, Peaches, what did we just learn about this situation? And she goes, I don't know what. I said, people who are innocent and aren't on sex tapes don't spend an hour of their time yelling and screaming on the phone about it, right? Like, come on.
Exactly.
And she's like, for real. So it was funny because at first I was scared, man, because he's the voice of Arby's, man. We got the meats. That's him. If you hear that voice screaming at you, I'm like,
he got the
meats, Arby's motherfucker.
Right. Look, he got the meats,
the Arby's
right.
motherfucker. He got the meats, all right. I didn't see it. Allegedly, he got the meats allegedly.
Allegedly, but, yes.
Yeah. Sometimes I get in some scary situations. I met with Suge Knight, man. Suge Knight scared the shit out of me.
Yes, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, how was it meeting with that motherfucker?
I mean, first of all, he's a mumbler. So you don't understand half the shit that, listen, man, I'm going to put this tape out there, motherfucker. And I was like, you going to put this what? He goes, man, I don't need you, motherfucker. You don't put it down. I'm like, listen, man. And the funny part was, I shouldn't tell this because Too Short gets mad when I say this, but Short called me up and he's like, hey, man, I gave your number to a friend of mine. He's got a sex tape and he wants to know what to do with it. I'm like, sure, have him call me. I'm at Bed Bath & Beyond. I kid you not, picking out curtains for my new place with my ex. And the phone rang, and it was a 213 number. And I'm like, 213, okay, that's LA. I'm like, hello, this Kate Bizzle? Yeah? You should. I'm like, huh? Should. I'm like, it sounds like you're saying should. Should Knight. And I'm like, nice job, D Money. I thought it was my brother, D. I'm like, D, come on. He goes, no, Todd gave me your number. Now, when he used Too Short's real name, I was like, okay. It's really Suge Knight. So then I was like, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up when he told me what he had. And I was like, it was a video of a friend of mine's wife. It's a rapper, a big famous rapper. I'm not going to go into who it is because I love these people.
You going to put it in your book?
No, that's too much tea. Yeah.
She's still a wife?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had an open marriage. So it was gnarly, but I wasn't going to get involved because I was just with these people. And I was like, they're my homies. So it was bad. I had to say no. I said no to Suge, and he wasn't happy about it. And then he said to me at one point, your services are no longer needed. And I was like,
I'm going to have to hypothetically guess the Smiths.
No, but that's not a bad guess, I suppose.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, Suge Knight, Tupac, Jada, Will Smith. Jada's always crying over fucking Tupac.
No, you can't even put Big Willie in this category as far as rap. This is a different kind of rap.
I mean, he was a big rapper, though.
Absolutely, but not a rapper like there's a rap today, right? Like, he's the summertime and the clean rap. I'm talking like rap, hardcore gangster rap.
Oh.
That kind of rap. I mean, come on. You think Suge Knight's fucking around with like Chris Cross and fucking Will Smith? Hell no.
Yeah. So
you didn't want to make me jump.
I wouldn't want to say it was Snoop Dogg's wife because she carries herself well. Maybe Dr.
No, and I love Snoop.
Maybe Dr. Dre's wife, but she was a lawyer. I don't see a lawyer doing a sex tape.
No, I ain't gonna tell you anyway. So
Okay.
You can guess all night.
Now, is it true you laid eyes on J-Lo's sex tape?
A long time ago. Her first one not first one. It was her first husband, Ohani Noah.
Oh. Okay. Now, did he bring you that tape?
Through a third party, I believe. I can't remember. It was that long ago. It was so long ago. I think it was a third party that brought it to me. Yeah.
Damn.
There's just so many tapes. Like if I told you, there's got to be over 100 different tapes that never came out that I got involved with. I get shop tapes every other week. Dude, some of these people that I get shop tapes of are people like daytime television people like people that are on networks and shows that you and I might not watch, but they're hugely popular. I had one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to tell you this.
Now you can drop that. You can drop that. You can drop that now.
I think I might be able to.
Give us one exclusive. Just name a name. Who was the housewife, and who was
in February of last year, I was a feature in the magazine Wired magazine. There's an article about me being a celebrity fixer and sex tape guy, and it starts off talking about a couple in Atlanta that had purchased a storage locker, fair and square, and the contents of the locker. They went in there and they found football rings. A high school football ring, a college football ring, and a professional ring. Okay? And there were 2 BlackBerries. Somehow this guy guessed the password of one of the BlackBerries, got into it, and found a sex tape. Now, you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I do.
Okay. All the years of Real Housewives, there's only been one that was married to a professional football player.
Oh shit! And I know her fucking name. Hold on for a second,
of course you do, because it's the same name as a fast race car.
Yeah. What is the Asian? She's Asian.
No.
Not
She didn't know what the Underground Railroad was, girl.
Porsha.
Never.
If you're like me and suffer from hyperpigmentation and ingrown hair due to excessive shaving and waxing on your cooch, inner thighs, and other intimate areas, I've got something for us. And Skin Souffle has created some amazing organic skincare products just for us. Even if your skin is super sensitive like mine and you always scratching, as Skin Souffle's Intimate Razor, Bump Corrector, and Super Strong Dark Spot Eraser are ideal products to help make your skin perfect all again. Order now at skinsouffle.net and use the promo code TASHAK for 10% off.
I was placed in this hospital room for high blood pressure complications. I did everything my doctors told me to do, including taking the prescribed medications, which I've been on for years, but I still ended up here. When I got out, I learned about my olive leaf, an all-natural extract that got my hypertension under control. Don't continue to drug yourself into becoming healthier. Go to myoliveleaf.biz to learn more.
The reviews says it all. It's time to unlock the secret to freshness, happiness, and overall great feminine hygiene. It's something we don't like to talk about, but around 80% of women experience feminine odor a few times a week. Here's the solution. Belle's Secret created a formula that washes away odor-causing bacteria, heals your vulva, and balances your pH. Plus, it's all natural. Check out bellsecret.org to start your journey to better feminine hygiene and use the code TASHAK20 to save on your purchase now.
I still love him. He's still my brother. That's my mama's child.
Everybody doesn't have the how to go with the who.
You only really have one physical sense, which is touch.
Get back to where we were, we would need to segregate.
Mainly, most people that fall for this are gay.
And you all need to figure some things out.
Like, oh, I see why my mommy did what she did.
Trust me when I say this shit's gonna happen. It's gonna fly.
I believe in a hand up and not a handout.
You could go through my DMs. There's no women shooting their shot at me in my DMs.
He went and found his mother.
Mama and you.
Porsha!
There you go.
Oh, Porsha got a sex tape. Now, did they called you to either fix it or put it out?
They wanted to sell. They wanted to buy the tape. They wanted to see if anybody wanted to buy it, and I had brought it to her people and asking if she wanted to buy it back, because technically she was a 50% copyright holder of that tape. And again, it comes down to these people couldn't put the sex tape out as Porsha Williams and Cordell Stewart's sex tape because they don't have the rights of publicity over it. Okay. So they shut it down. She was frantic and said she would come after everybody and sue everybody. So I basically, to the people that own it, and I said, look, even though you own the contents and you could do whatever you want with it, you could sell it to a private bidder. You could sell it to somebody that they could use those Blackberries if they want to use it. You could sell those rings, but it's going to be hard calling them Cordell Stewart's rings because unless they're authenticated, right? That's why people have authentication or signed numbered prints or whatever. Then it gets difficult. So they weren't able to do anything. And she was really pissed. And she was like, I'm going to sue everybody. And she freaked out. She shouldn't be mad because I got to tell you something. Girlfriend got skills. And I called Cordell's manager and I'm like, listen, this is bad news, but maybe it's not such bad news because I know a lot of people have been thinking that your client doesn't really like play on the same team, you know, so maybe this is a good thing for him. You know, there was always
I think it could have been a good thing because everyone was talking about the tape of him, you know, filming his ass. I don't know if you saw that tape.
Well, but everybody's always speculated that he was gay for many years. That was the thing. They always called him gay, and she was a beard. So that's why I was like, well, maybe this was, you know, good for him. Maybe he'd go out there and show everybody.
She wasn't doing beard activity in the tape.
What activity?
Beard activity.
Oh, no. No. I know she had her mouth full, so it was kind of hard to tell.
Okay, Porsha.
Yeah, okay, all right.
She got her African king now. Look.
Yeah, she does. She got some money. Yeah, she, listen, I used to watch that show religiously. She's always been my favorite one on the show, so I mean, she's going to get mad about reading this, but at the same time, she was my favorite. I didn't like Cherie very much.
So how did they, I guess, ultimately keep the tape off the market? Like, what was the strategy?
Well, they shut it down by saying, look, you know, you can't publicize this tape. You can't use my clients' names, and you can't put it out there without their release because, again, it goes back to USC 2257, which is the law that states that all the parties involved have to sign off that they're over 18 years of age and supply 2 forms of identification that proves that they're over 18 years of age. That's the whole thing. So that's why in the adult business here in the San Fernando Valley, for many years when they filmed these things, the girls had to sign and show their IDs, and there was a custodian of records. If you look at any porn tape or any porn scene at the end of the movies, you'll see USC 2257 custodian of records, and there's an address. That's a place where the government could come 12 hours out of the day and inspect the documents to make sure that it's not child pornography and that those people, you know, weren't they didn't have a gun put to their heads saying that they, you know, had to make a porn scene. So again, and that's kind of violent, the picture I'm painting, but that happened as a result of Tracy Lords. Many years ago, there was a porn star named Tracy Lords. She got into the business. She said that she was, you know, over 18 years of age and consented, and it turned out she was 15. So that's why this law had to happen, and that was a way of protecting children and people, you know, too young to be filming porn. So that was the way, and that's the way we shut down sex tapes. No, that's the way we shut down sex tapes. It all comes back to the 2257.
Yeah, and, nobody want to get got for child pornography at all, or even speculated or alleged.
No, it would cost you $1 million. Cost you $1 million just to defend yourself in court against the government.
Damn.
Yeah, you don't want to screw with that.
Well, I appreciate that little exclusive now, because that right there is going to do well. Look, I mean, am I surprised? I thought you were going to say Candy, because, you know, Candy has always been open about, you know, her
listen,
freedom.
Candy's the only one. Candy's the only one on that show that's got real money. You know that, right? Like the rest of those girls are all front. The rest of those girls are renting homes. It's not, again, if there's one thing I want your subscribers to walk away from with this broadcast, don't believe everything you see on TV or read. It's all bullshit. Everything's bullshit. Yesterday I was watching the Kardashians going to lunch. If you look at yesterday's gossip tabloids or you go look, you'll see them dressed to the nines to go to Il Fornaio, which is an Italian restaurant in Woodland Hills. They're there at 10:30 in the morning. Does anybody think that anybody would wear these outfits and these boots? Okay, right now in LA, to go to lunch at 10:30 in the morning, the place doesn't even open till 5 o'clock. So it's all a set. It's all illusion. They have storylines. Everything that you see that is reality TV, there's nothing real about it. I watch the housewives get filmed out here every day. I'll be driving through Beverly Hills and I'll see a whole camera crew, right, which changes the whole perspective anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll see Kyle Richards open the door and then they'll tell her, no, go back and open the door again with this hand. And you're like, come on, man. Everything is scripted, especially the Kardashians. Do not believe the hype. They are charlatans. They are hucksters.
Now, real quick before we wrap this up, Oscar De La Hoya, is it true that there's a tape or tapes of him with kitchen tools in his ass?
There was. It was there was a whisk. He got the Aunt Jemima treatment is what he got.
Now, who put the kitchen tools up his ass?
There were a couple of girls that he had gotten off a website called seekingarrangement.com.
Were they girls or were they girls?
No, they were girls.
Okay.
This time, anyway. They were girls. No, Oscar, to the best of my knowledge, loves girls. He just likes to dress in their outfits sometimes.
Okay, Bruce Jenner.
Hey, look, as Dave Chappelle, my homie Dave Chappelle would say, cocaine is a hell of a drug, right? Yeah. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. So yeah, he got a little messed up, had a bad night. Girls videotaped him. They came to me, unbeknownst to me and him. Well, I guess he knew. He was being extorted for over $1 million. And I ended up meeting with the FBI over that. I met with the feds, and that was crazy. That was during the time when I had that writer following me from Wired magazine. So that was really something. She showed up to the meeting, and the feds were like, who's this woman? I'm like, oh, she's a writer. She's doing a thing on me. I thought this might be good for her to sit in on. And they're like, she's got to go. We're the FBI. We don't talk to the press. Get lost. And I was like, oh,
bullshit.
I didn't even think about
bullshit.
that.
They talk to them.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that was fun. I get involved in some shit.
I guess worst situation you've ever been in, though. As your career as a Hollywood fixer, as a sex tape broker, what was the worst situation that you've ever been in?
Well, so when I got involved with the Colin Farrell tape, the guys called me up and were like, hey, can you meet us at Mel's Drive-In? I go, Mel's Drive-In? That's in Hollywood, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I'm in San Diego, man. It's going to take me almost 3 hours to drive up there. Like, so come on up. Let's meet. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I could be there at 11. I show up. I don't know who I'm meeting with. The guy just told me he was wearing an orange John Deere hat and a parka. He looked like Elmer Fudd. And I showed up, and I sat down at this table. I'm like, so what are we waiting for? He goes, my partner. Partner comes in. He's this giant muscle guy. And I'm like, oh, shit. This is going to be interesting. And the guy starts whispering with the other guy. And he says, listen, we weren't really prepared to show you anything or do anything, but we want $1.2 million for this tape, and we're going to get it tomorrow from this other guy if you don't want to buy it. And I go, listen, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about here, so unless you show me. And he goes, listen, it's Colin Farrell with a black playmate named Nicole Narain. Now, there's not that many black playmates, so that I thought was going to make it really valuable because I'm like, well, this will be interesting. Interracial, there's this, there's that. But I'm like, look, I got to see this motherfucker. And the guy starts whispering again. Then they lean over the table and I go, hey, listen, would you be willing to be blindfolded and just be put in our trunk? And we're just driving up the hill and I could take you somewhere to watch it right now. I go in the trunk. He goes, well, it's really a hatchback, but we don't want you seeing where we're going. And I don't have a gun on me. I have nothing on me. I don't know these people. And me being the whore that I am, I had a bandana tied around my head, and 5 minutes later, I went up a windy hill, and I ended up going into this house and watching this tape, man. And he's got a hammer, like, wow, like Mr. Snuffleupagus, right?
Colin Farrell. Okay.
I was like, and he's a little guy, right? And
Yeah.
the guy's got a cigarette dangling from his lip. He's holding a Guinness beer, and he looks over and he goes, "I could eat that kitty for breakfast, fucking lunch, and fucking dinner." And I was just like, God damn, that is Colin Farrell. I'm like, I hope he breathes through that thing, because that would be the best, because that thing is like a snorkel.
Damn, Colin.
Yep. Damn, Colin.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, don't worry. I wish you would have dropped that wine on Who Suge Knight had that on, but I understand you gotta have some boundaries in what you do.
Yeah, and he is still alive. He is still alive. He might be in jail, but he is still alive.
Yeah.
And Oscar De La Hoya can still throw a punch too, but
yeah,
I'm more worried about that guy cooking me breakfast. I don't want to spend the night at Oscar's house because I don't want him cooking me breakfast. I know where those spatulas have been.
Yeah. Oh man, so when is your book coming out?
Probably when it's picks up a publisher. Publishers are scared, man. They, on the one hand, it's like they all want to read this thing, and on the other hand, they're like, you can't put real names in this. We're gonna get sued. And I'm like, yeah, but I think that's what people want to read about, don't you? Like, yeah, man, but maybe you need to tone it down a little.
I mean, Superhead
nah.
did it.
Listen, Corinne Stephens, that girl. That's really funny that you say that, because the person I talked to said, Superhead did it. And I'm like, yeah, but Superhead didn't make any money on her book. She didn't sell the life rights. She didn't do the movie. She didn't do a TV shit. She's not on Hulu. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do the whole kit. I'm trying to do the whole kit and caboodle, because now you put out a book and it's all about making it into a show or making it into a docu-series. That's where the money comes in.
Okay. Yeah, she didn't follow up on those things. I don't think she had the resources to. I think she had burned all of her resources when she,
But very much like Porsha Williams, Porsha Williams got those skills. She must have read Corinne's book. That's what I think. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Hell no.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
No.
But you know what?
Personally, have you
she
been
could
with
sit
any?
for that.
Now, have you been with any celebrities?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
But I never made any videos with them.
Really?
No videos. Yeah.
I
do have videos, but not with.
Can you name at least one?
No. No, because I promised her that we wouldn't. Here's the thing.
Okay.
The fact that I got into this porn thing as deep as I did, it was like most of these girls kind of had to like explain to their parents and other people like, this is kind of what he does, but this is more like a P.T. Barnum kind of guy. Like, he's more of a carnival barker than he is a pornographer. So because of that, like I had to always keep this shield, you know what I mean? So I don't want to muddy up any of them. And a lot of them I dated before they became really big. So.
He said a lot of them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, not a lot. There's a couple. And then a couple were big porn stars. I dated a couple really big porn stars too.
Okay. I'm gonna have to bring you back on the show to talk about. I'm gonna have to bring you back on the show to talk about the porn industry as a whole. I did see. I don't know if I'm sure you probably heard of Pinky, but she really, she did an interview some time back, and she really exposed the porn industry, pretty bad. And things that she had.
Pinky's in the same file as Mr. Marcus, my homie Marcus. It's like, once you piss people off in this business, they ostracize you and then you're done.
Yeah.
And, Marcus and I go way back, but Marcus did some stuff that got him ostracized too. Pinky was more anti the business. Look, there's a lot of bad stuff about the business. I'm not going to lie about it, but there's also a lot of good stuff about the business. People don't. I met some of my best friends and some of the best business people in the adult industry. And all the technology that you see that makes money, the way that you get paid on YouTube or in all these places, all originated with the adult business because we started the affiliate program. That's the way that people get paid now, all started with us.
See, I'm gonna have to bring you back for part 2. So let me try to get you on the schedule for like next week or the week after, whenever you're free again.
Listen, as long as I don't get sued as a result of this one, I'll come back.
Me too. Should I already been sued once? Yeah. Damn it. Look, me too. But no, thank you so much, Mr. Blatt. I'm sorry, Kate Bizzle. Okay.
It's a Blatt thing. It's a Blatt thing.
I mean, Too Short's your best fucking friend. That's crazy.
He's one of my close friends, but Kate Bizzle, the name Kate Bizzle was given to me by Snoop Dogg himself, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Called me
Snoop
Kate
Dogg
Bizzle.
tried to get into porn one time. Did he consult you on that?
He did get into porn. He had in 2004, he won the best-selling DVD for Doggy Style from Hustler. He put it out with Hustler. And the funny part is, the night that he won it, I was backstage with him. I have a picture of me holding his award with him. And I said, he goes, "What's up for tonight, K Bizzle?" I go, "What?" He goes, "K Bizzle, my nizzle." And he went like that. And I went, "K Bizzle. K Bizzle. That's my new nickname. Snoop gave me my new nickname, K Bizzle. I'm down for whatever." And we hung out all night, and I became buddies with him. And then we booked him for our Players Ball. We used to throw the Pimp and Hoe party in Vegas back in the day.
Oh, okay.
You look up some footage. You'll see me suited and booted with my brother. You'll see how he get down.
You sent me a picture. You was pretty slick. I'm gonna put that in this video. You was pretty sharp.
I used to be pretty cool.
Yeah, you're pretty sharp. But thank you so much. Do you want to tell everyone where they can follow you, ask questions, reach out to you?
You can follow me at Kevin Blatt on Twitter, Kevin Blatt on social media. I'm Kevin Blatt everywhere. I probably should have changed my name before I got in this crazy business, but why hide? I tell the truth. I have no filter. It's the way I am.
Yeah.
And if you got a sex tape out there, anybody wants to figure out what it's worth, if they got something of value, just remember, there's always a number that people like to throw out to make sure that things don't get out there. Especially the bigger the celebrity, the better. You could always hit me up, and I'd be more than happy. I answer my phone 24 hours a day, and I answer all DMs 24 hours a day.
All right, there it is. Kevin Blatt, a.k.a. Kevin, K Bizzle, my nizzle. So thank you. Thank you so much. You are pretty much a breath of fresh air. I can hang with you anytime.
Thank you. Well, happy Friday.
Thank you so much.
Great weekend, a good Easter, and it was nice meeting your son. He's going to be a stud.
I hope so.
That kid's got swag, I could tell.
I know. Listen, he just literally walks up to me, sits down, and just grabs my breast. I'm like, "What are you doing? What the fuck?"
My man. My man.
All right, Kay. I'll let you know when this drops. Thank you so much, okay?
You got it. Take care,
right.
girl.
All right. Bye.